Hi, my name is Kayla Rumpp. I'm a visual artist, and I'm here with Design Milk for DMTV Milkshake. So I'm in my studio right now, and I'm gonna answer some questions about my practice. So like I said, I'm a visual artist. I work primarily with paint, and I would consider this work some sort of fusion between painting and sculpture. As you can kind of see behind me, these pieces hang on the wall, but they have some dimension to them. So they have some shadows that are cast beneath them as well. And I'm really interested in color, as you can see behind me. Okay, I'm going to pull out these questions. So the vessel that I chose to put the questions inside of today was one of my first successful attempts at throwing from many, many years ago, and I've just always kept it with me. So here's the first one. Okay. How are you thinking about color right now? Great question. So I love color. I really love color. I'm thinking about color differently every single day. I think right now I'm especially thinking about color as some sort of feeling or kind of gut instinct to begin with. So in my process, I have a lot of vibrant colors that might be included in each piece, but there's usually at least one or two main colors that I like to use as a jumping off point to come up with the rest of the color scheme for the paintings. So it's often based on maybe how I'm feeling that day, or today feels like a green day, or I haven't made a blue painting in a really long time. Maybe I need to tackle that. So it's a lot about experiences that I'm having in the studio and colors that I'm really interested in at certain moments in time. And after that point, it becomes kind of a game to figure out what's the next color that'll be featured in this painting, and what two colors look great next to each other, what two colors look really confusing next to each other. And to me, that point of confusion where pink is next to yellow, but maybe it starts to change a little bit when you're looking at it. It starts to look a little bit more orange based on what color it's touching, and all those kind of magic things that can happen when you put different colors together. Okay, next one. All right. How did your work as a teacher influence the work you're making today? So I was an elementary school teacher for a few years before I continued my education in graduate school. And I would say that was one of the biggest turning points in my art practice, definitely. A lot of the supplies in an elementary school are Crayola markers, watercolor paint, and popsicle sticks. And that was kind of a revolutionary experience for me to find all of these popsicle sticks in these elementary school classrooms and think of them as a really super interesting sculptural tool. It's like one of the most easily available craft tools that you can use, and they're so versatile as well. And I was having my students work with popsicle sticks, and I found that I was super interested in them as well, and I started using them to sketch, and I started building out of them, and it really just evolved and evolved into the work that I'm making now. And even though some of these paintings of mine might reference popsicle sticks more than others, like quite literally, I think of all of this work as deriving from experimenting with popsicle sticks with my elementary school students. Pretty cool. Okay, another question. All right. You work at a variety of scales. A piece of yours might be 2 inches or 2 feet. How is working at a very small scale satisfying? I love this. Yes, I never know what scale the piece is going to be when I'm sketching it, because I'm sketching in grid paper or dotted paper, so really anything can be scaled up or down based on the initial drawing. And very recently I've been working with super, super small pieces, and I just had an exhibition where I explored this idea of scale and installed the work kind of chronologically based on scale. So it either appeared that the work was decreasing in scale or increasing based on which way you entered the room and walked around the room. And I found that making the really small pieces was super exciting. I have one sitting right next to me, a couple of them. So I have some that are about the size of the palm of my hand, and others that are like, yeah, just a couple inches, really, really small. And they were in the same exhibition space as some of these behind me that are more like 2 feet. And I found that experience of painting these pieces was so much more intimate, and I was using such a small brush, and it was like about a couple inches away from my face just so I could see the lines that I was having to paint. And something about cradling that tiny painting in my hand was just, it made my relationship to it feel very intimate and very like caring. I think I feel that way about all the paintings regardless of scale, but there's something about the really, really small scale that was super interesting to me, and I had a lot of fun exploring all different scales from like 1 inch to like 6 feet in one exhibition. Okay, last question in here. All right. Do you have a sense of how your work will evolve in the future? Wow, coincidence, that was the last question there. I really don't know. I don't think too far much ahead in the future when it comes to how these pieces change and evolve, because I really do think that one piece influences the next, and so on and so on. So it's all depending on the piece that came before. And I think that keeps it really exciting for me too as the maker, as I have no idea what discoveries I might make as I'm making each piece. And I learn from those every day and keep going and making new things. So I'm excited to see how these pieces might evolve in the future based on maybe what I'm making right now. So that's all the questions. Thanks so much for watching, and DMTV Milkshake for having me design milk. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.